Alright, let's see if you're smart as you seem, Jubilost. Alright, found. Let me see. It's a good thing I'm not a follower of Shen, or I'll be throwing this thing into the fire right now and draw the deity's wrath. Just look at this language. Shivering, she clung to my shoulder and whispered, Willis, you are my only hope. Only you have developed adventured skills. Your daring mind, merciless eloquence, and shameless courage can save the poor girl like me. Why distress? We need something that's 5th and 10. Obviously, it's about the 5th adventure. Well, I was on this. Okay, I was on kind of on the right line. The name of the chapter is In the Corner of the Tavern. Sounds like a place, but which tavern? Did they do this one? And who or what should we look for? Wait. We know the place, the tavern, and a number 24. We can suppose that it's a place and time, or rather a date. Hey! The 24 that contains a dozen times a dozen in the 24 of each month. I suppose we meet at the capital tavern on the next 24 and see what happens. See, I fucking told you. I told you! See, I told you I'm smart. Find out. Today we discuss one of the gravest problems of the River Kingdoms, piracy and all crimes which accompany it. You see that for decades the illegal trade of stolen goods flowed among the criminals and corrupt merchants of these lands. Now that we have guards in the harbours and along the roads, this illegal traffic has slowed, but only somewhat. Someone else might suggest that you take advantage of the situation, simply collect your fees and don't ask too many questions about the blood that these goods are soaked in. But as a traveller far and wide, experience has taught me that real wealth only gathers where there's no robbery or smuggling. And major trade unions won't want to deal with one who promotes piracy. I warn against tolerating things as they now stand. Establish proper customs in your harbour. Hunt down the these. Okay. Alright, proper customs. So we shall put an end to the illegal trade of stolen goods in these lands. What music to my ears, you heed my advice, proving that my labours to elevate the territory have not been wasted. I shall endeavour in my next book to explain how important it is for every wise advisor to work with a leader who knows better than to interfere. Man, there's a stick right up his asshole, isn't it? Strange golem enters your room. It's seriously hurt, barely moving its legs and swaying. Help us. Help. Help. Okay. How do you like that again? Someone needs our help, and again it has to do with golems. Does any of this seem familiar? Those simpletons from Skeg Clan must have dug up something else and got themselves in trouble again. I can do that all by myself. And I warned them that they were wooing death. I warned them. Let's return to that fortress that they couldn't get inside and see what happened to them this time. Alright then. Yes, we need to go and check on them. Just don't go without me, alright? I want to see with my own eyes what catastrophe they've wrought this time. All the while praying to their Torag. Alright. Okay. Will I be able to get there? Beyond the open gate you find a strange room that looks more like a workshop than the entrance to a fortress. Across the room, by the far wall there's a metal throne. In front of it is Jalman Skeg, who you know well. In one hand he holds a steel scepter, and in the other a sacred symbol of Torag, and set with two shimmering jewels, which you recognise as the hearts of the anvil and the undermined golem. The paladin's face is twisted by a grimace of pain and strain. Here, help me overcome these golems. I just got rid of that golem thing. I took the scepter from the empty throne over there, but it seems my command over the golems is lacking. If lose control, no, you won't die. I'll protect you. Have to help. Ugh. I told you it would end like this, but you were dying for a legacy. And what is that legacy worth? An army of golems. Was it worth it to come all this way just to meet your death? Wouldn't it have been easier to choke to death in your mountains at home? One of the golems turns to its metal face to you and speaks in harmony. You all deserve to die, thieves and impostors. What right do you come to this fortress? This is the Skeg clan. They are the rightful heirs of this building, of this fortress. They are not Skeg, they are the nameless cowards. Only I, ThomFnG, are worthy of being the clan's name. The golem addresses itself as a Skeg. A Skeg, but you are my great uncle. When our clan left this fortress, you and your golem stayed behind to protect it. Come to your senses, ghost. We are your descendants. You are no one. The real Skeg would have neither abandoned their creation. Those who left forever lost the right to bear this proud name. I would say that. And you have the nerve to come here to this fortress, which was built from the blood and sweat of our grandparents, and abandon it by your unworthy fathers. Ha! You will die here together with your henchmen. Golems attack. Diamond lifts his spear above his head. I'm doing everything I can, but this will is too strong. Destroy the golems, Harrim. You must unmake this throne. I owe you nothing. Neither you nor... Look, if you didn't do it, we're all going to die, so... Stop being a dick, Harrim, alright? You will all die, you will die, you will die. Harrim has to be Harrim, eh? A real douchebag sometimes. A real douchebag. Alright, I gathered that, okay. Two rounds, okay. We only did 2 rounds this time, alright. So I take it I've got to smash that throne then, I guess. The last of the battle golems falls to your feet. A ghost stands to the side, shaking its fist. Vandals, have you any idea how much time I spent creating them? Grinding his teeth, the paladin stands up. The magic jewels in his sacred symbol glow like red and blue flames. Be silent, ghost. In the name of Torag, I forbid you from harming the living. Be gone. Where did I get spooky paladin magic like that? That's it. Thank you, my friends. I couldn't have done it without you. Alan, please unmake the throne so that the ghost has nowhere to return. What am I, an errand boy? Go there, unmake this. Who are you to order me around? Perhaps I should drop to my knees before Torag. Harrim, stop being a dick. Right. Don't argue, do it, or this battle might be pointless. Harrim, I had no intention of giving you orders. Forgive me for expressing myself too poorly. I humbly ask you to help me as a friend and ally. Some friend. I don't know. Should I help them? Mate, stop being a douchebag, alright? You decided to help him, so finish what you started. Destroy the throne and say goodbye to Skeg clan forever. Stop being a douche and just do it, right? Fine, but this is the last time I'm helping you, understood? He approaches the throne with the skeleton and strikes it with his fist. 1 blow, 2, 3, and the throne crumbles into pieces with a clanging sound, revealing another jewel, shimmering purple. Thank you. Adam was beginning to speak, but Harrim interrupts. You're welcome, Now go back where you came from. I hope you try to make something useful from the pieces. Elosa said, as you say, your highness, the Steg clan thanks you. We are all in your debt. I'm afraid we'll have to forget the treasures of our ancestors and return home in disgrace. Farewell. So much effort, so much suffering, and for what? They built themselves a crypt and nearly buried themselves in it. Torag, Torag, you inspire your children to build such things and then don't know how to get rid of them, fools. Alright, let's go. There's no point standing here. You say that, mate, but you really are a douchebag. Look within. Look within. All they do sometimes is complain. Exits the dungeon with you looking back. His face bears a strange expression, a pensive half-smile. You know, Tom, I think I've realised something very, very important. But I don't need to ponder it further. Let's talk about this later, after we return to the capital. Okay, it's over, yes. I thought I was free of my past burdens when I accepted Grotus, Truths and Demands, but it is only now that I have become truly free. You know, Tom, I used to hate them so much. The dwarfs who ousted me, the god who rejected me. Now I look upon this, and I barely remember that hatred. But didn't they sound like it? How pathetic they are, with the pride and their stubbornness, building their toys to die among them, powerless to unmake the things they made. I'd laugh, but in fact it makes me want to cry. On the other hand, I thought, how should I put it? He wraps his beard around his fist. My gift, wherever it came from, the gift to destroy, to help others create. Perhaps my god does something similar. Something that has a beginning, has an end as well. One day Grotus will be free to destroy this world, but imagine that will happen then, after the end. Perhaps a new beginning, a new creation and a new world. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, thank you. Without you, I would have kept going in circles, while resenting and hatred gnawed at me from the inside. You helped me find peace, and I swear by Grotus, I won't leave your side until it's our turn to crumble to dust. It's good that we helped that paladin. It was an act of kindness. Good, bad. They were driven by greed and pride. Told by truth. Truth be told. Told by truth. Truth be told, the two didn't differ much. Both true children of the Tread clan and true followers of Torag. Nothing to be proud of there. I care not who won the fortress. What draws my mind are thoughts on my place in the world, and the true meaning of serving Grotus. Destroying, creating something new from the pieces, and destroying it again. Isn't that what you're doing now here in the Stolen Lands? You have built your kingdom upon the ashes of countless predecessors. Ponder this when you have the time. No, I won't. Have you made peace? Have I made peace? Made peace? There was a war in my heart, and now it is serene. That is true. But can I still call it peace? I think not. More like neutrality. I no longer torment myself about thinking about them and Torag. Although the wounds they left continue to ache, but now it simply doesn't matter. I used to think Torag's followers were shallow, that they couldn't even imagine there was anything in the world beside their beloved god and their home mountain. Now I know that I used to be just as shallow. Yes, he certainly was. Torag, Grotus, beginning of time, end of time, all these are only parts of a larger picture. A picture so vast that just thinking about it makes my head spin. But for a moment I saw it, Tom. We can... Ridiculous resentments mean after that? What can ridiculous resentment? I don't know, mate. Truthfully, I don't care. like that's our moon. I'd like to know what leaving her path means to her, and more importantly, how all this related to the story of the gnomes. I hope we're about to find out. Clears her throat to attract her attention. A girl with unusual silver hair is looking gloomily in her mug of ale. As she notices Jubilost clearing his throat, she raises her face and breathes. Oh, they told me that the King of Stolen Lands walks the streets and feasts with everyone at the taverns, but I never believe it. Forgive me, Your Highness, I am a lunar Katari. Unusual name. I was born with bright silver hair. Oh, my nose. Itchy nose for some reason. The midwives never saw an ASMR before. They were frightened, but my mother, not a bit. She said her daughter's hair was silver like the moon, which meant I was blessed by death, of course. Hence the name. Actually, I've always been drawn to faraway countries, like anyone touched by the moon goddess, but I've never been beyond the river kingdoms. I am a messenger. I deliver correspondence from Bavoy to Mevon and back. Usually reports about a rich merchant's underlings and his orders for them. My parents live in Bavoy and the girl I love in Mavoy. I've always dreamt of becoming a traveller, but that's not as easy for the daughter of a weaver and a washerwoman. I was glad to find the messenger's job, though I thought that was pretty lucky. But now I'm travelling the same road over and over every month. I even sit right here in this tavern on the 24th of every month, right on schedule. The monotony is driving me to tears, but what can I say? I can't be everywhere at once, and I can't stand the thought of settling down. Jubilost, who was listening surprisingly carefully, leans over to you and says quietly, "Do you see it now? When the moon leaves her path is another part of the riddle. It looks we need to somehow convince our new friend to quit her well-trodden path and set up somewhere new. Plus, it would be good for her. The same road each month. If I were her, I'd have drowned myself a long time ago. Yeah, have some travelling money. This is going to be quite difficult. If life troubles you, something should be changed. Your family and friends won't want you happy, not exhausted and halting your ever existence. You speak with such confidence. It's true you came to Stolen Lands as no one and made yourself king by your own persistence and skill. I've heard so many stories, Your Highness, I wouldn't have taken this advice from anyone but you. But I've just decided I'm going to travel, and I hope not alone. We'll surely be able to earn a piece of bread together. Please take this. It's a relic of my family. It's a relic my family received from an elven ancestor. According to the family legend, the one who deciphers a map will find three things: an incredible sad secret, a true treasure, and a door to another world which will never open again. The entrance to a certain dungeon is marked here, but there's nothing to say where to go looking. You're a king with all the best scientists and travellers serving you. Surely they'll be able to read this map. Thank you again. I have to go. See ya. Alright. Moon has left our path, but now who can explain to me why the host didn't simply tell us? Go to the dungeon. I don't know, mate. Obviously he's got something to do with it, I know. Why make us run around in circles? But let's have a look at this map. What do we have here? I recognise the area around Candemere at first glance. There are ancient ruins in the area. This dungeon must contain the traces of the very first gnomes to visit Glorian. Well, our goal is clear. Now we need to only achieve it. Okay. You're here, you're close. A flickering shadow stands before you, trembling and chanting something indistinct. In its silhouette, you barely recognise the figure of a gnome girl dressed in rags. You need to try again, the door will open, I promise. Them, I promised. And you are? I promised them to open this door to return everyone home. Seas go seas. Bursting into a long and bleak laugh, the ghost makes a move as if she wants to run away, but then freezes and gives you an eerily attention look. Who am I? I'm C, a wizard. I am the one who brought everyone here, this place. Once the Lantern King himself opened a gate from his dominion to Glorian here. He abandoned this road, but I thought I could open the portal again, or ask for help from the elders. Eldest. We returned all of us home. I was wrong. The door didn't open. We all lost colour one by one. Poor creature. You should not have relied on the mercy of the gods. So you're one of the gnomes from the first world. What happened? The ghost lets out a strange sound, half moan, half dull laughter. I lived a long, long life there, in the first world. Many long lives. I travelled, I curated, I danced upon the edge of the abyss and fell into the clouds. I died to be born again, with none of my strength and skills, but with all the memories of the wonders I'd seen. But eternity can become tedious, even for a soul that's forever young. Many older gnomes suffered it even when we knew what the bleaching was. Sooner or later, there's not enough novelty anymore. So we all grew fascinated with a new game. Death. One of the eldest created it. Of course, he was just borrowing it based on his observations of the true gods. He drew a string from the River of Souls and created his own little circle of births, deaths and judgments. Imitating the almighty Pharasma, he judged the souls that he owned, and determined that future paths. It was so new, so exciting, many gnomes volunteered. If not us, then who? But those who take from the goddess of death must be ready for the consequences. The Lady of Greys brought her due wrath upon this creative eldest. He was stripped of his power and forever doomed to serve her in court. And we gnomes, we were torn from the first world and bound to the River of Souls, like all creature of the material plane. Thereafter we lived like the rest, died like the rest, and learned all the pain of the bleaching. Our game had become our reality, and no longer could we tire of its fun and return to the other world. But they can still come back as ghosts though. Okay. But hey, it's all so sad. My thoughts are scattered, crying all over. Blah 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 blah. Jubilost looks at the ghost shaking. He seems to be one of those rare moments that the gift of speech is lost, finally. But this is not at all like how I supposed it happened. Respected C, I understand that your condition does not allow for long conversations, or perhaps you could tell me. The ghost listens to him with eerie attention. Of course I could. I could do many things. I tried many ways to open the portal. Everything except a sacrifice. A little blood can come in handy.
Do it the hard way.
Of course. Oh. No, he's gonna thing in my thing. Yeah. Strike with all your might. Ghost freezes, holds herself by the shoulders and sways back and forth, repeating over. I promise. That's rather a foolish performance, little ghost. You staged a fine series of foolish performances. They're playing the game of death, contacting the eldest, not known for his mercy, trying to open a door that leads nowhere. But who are we addressing? Greetings, and of course you, most persistent of researchers. We see you solved our riddle. But we did. I might still fail to understand why you sent us the long way around instead of just telling us everything from the beginning. Some truths must be discovered to be known, or seen with your own eyes. The host nods at the pile of known bones and the shivering ghost. Is what C told us true? About the game of death and Pharasma's punishment, yes. One of our eldest brothers thought he could steal from a deity. The gnomes that answered his call thought they could play at death. Death decided otherwise. Is there any way to change what happened? If there is, we know nothing of it. The eldest can do many things, but as you both know, it is not enough to confront a deity, especially one such as Pharasma. We've learned our lessons and do not play with the toys of others. Does that mean that this was all in vain? Of course not. The journey is often more important than the destination. Be satisfied with the secret you have won. The day I can simply be satisfied with something, I'll bleach. That's true. You said we've learned our lesson, so you're one of the eldest? Host? You hear a laughter under the hood. Oh, we've tired of answering this question, and the many others that follow it. Ask us again next time, especially since the next time for you will be one of the first times for us. So what does that mean? We go through the portal? Why are you here? The right question at last. As I suspect you realise, there's no way to save all the gnomes from the bleaching. You cannot return them to the first world and restore their connection to their homeland. And even if there were a significantly desperate and powerful creature ready to do it, their actions would not be looked on mercifully by the Lady of Graves. Though it cannot be done for all, it can still be done for one. We are ready to offer this gift as a token of our appreciation for your exciting adventure and your solution to the riddle. Do you hear, Sir Jubilost? You personally may become reconnected with the First World. You won't be entirely protected from death if you remain on Glorian, but you will be forever spared from the breaching. Whenever you visit the First World, which we are aware you desire passionately, then you'll be as immortal as any fae. Fixes his glasses, it's the only chink in his nonchalant facade. If this gift cannot help the whole gnome race, then I have no need of it. Of course, I am not immune to vanity, but I've always been ready to share the burden of morality with the others who bear it on their shoulders. I'll even keep wearing those stupid glasses. I'll survive without the immortality of the First World and face the bleaching when it comes, as all gnomes have done before. Can't believe I'm hearing this. The same Jubilost who spoke of the gnomes' servants with such contempt as reject immortality because he can't help all the gnomes in the world admit it. This is just another grab for attention, isn't it? Such a hypocrite. Let us assume for the moment that I've changed, matured. He avoids looking at Trivia, but it's obvious how hard it is for him to say this and simultaneously avoid saying something rude. And this is not just about immortality. Exploring the First World is my dream. But, as we all know but too well, it's morally dangerous. The gift of the host would be the best protection for me in my journeys, but no. This isn't going to happen. You're doing the right thing. Principles are principles. I'm glad we understand each other. Well, my decision isn't changing. I'll decline the gift. We aren't easy to surprise, but you managed it. Very well. A rejection is a rejection, but gifts of the eldest are not so easy to withdraw from the world. They must find an owner somewhere, one way or another. So what should we do? To who shall we grant what has been promised? See? A worthy idea. What do you say, host? Can you grant the ghost piece instead of giving me immortality and everything that goes along with it? 1,000-year-old insane ghost again. Well, why not? But we will do much more than simply give her peace. You'll be surprised how little difference there is between nowhere and here and now. She will open her door and just when she will open her door just when she was already meant to. Okay. You have rejected the gift, Jubilost Narthorple, but we will not leave you without any reward at all. We offer you a trifle. The chance to sometimes glimpse eternity in the corner of your eye, just as we do. Now you can remember the history of things. Those who wander searching for mysteries and ancient relics must find this skill useful. And down, farewell. When you finally succumb to the bleaching, you may remember this moment and wonder what you think then. Only time knows. Okay. I can't believe it. The first world or home. Bye. I don't know if I can save you from death, my friends, but at least we will die at home. Dying here and dying there, it's the same thing, you know.